Manikam.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Sai Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Swami Esaranammayappa. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the journey. It's all about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, and by my side, I've got Dashnee, Manikam.
Manikam, everyone.
And if you want to join us in conversation, please comment at the bottom of the screen right there. I know you can see it, yeah? And we are streaming live in the Nature South on Atonville TV. Now, as you know, this show is about, well, Hinduism.
Yes.
And us exploring it. And I missed Dashnee so much. So how was your graduation? How was exams? We missed you.
Thanks. It was good. Yesterday was my last exam.
Yeah.
As well as my graduation, which I was mistakenly not invited to, but I got there.
I would have shouted them.
So I'm a very soft person, right?
Yeah.
So even I went to go and inquire about it because I was worried about it.
Yes.
They were like saying they were going to message me in the first week of July. So I've been waiting and waiting. So I was like, okay, this is my last exam today and I haven't got any notification about it. So I went to inquire about it and they were like, but you should be at your graduation right now. You can only imagine how I felt. I didn't know whether to cry. I didn't know whether
to be happy because you graduated.
Yeah, I was like so shocked because I mean we wait for those moments, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, well it's too late. The first session's over. This is the second session, and you need to be there before 12, and this is 11:30.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was like, I wasn't sure what to. She's like, no, you'd rather not go. Just pick up your certificate next week. And I was just like, okay, it's over. But then something just told my mind, just go. And the time I got there was like maybe 1:30. And when I saw my surroundings, people were arriving, so I was like, sometimes they will just tell you for convenience, don't go, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so I had to come home, dress quickly, and I was like, let me just try, maybe they'll let me in.
Yes.
And they let me in. And
that's nice. Did you wear the gown and everything?
Yeah, I was even worried that because I know you need to rent it out or whatever.
Yes.
So I was like, I don't have that, maybe I can borrow somebody else's. But when you got there, there's people you can rent it from.
Yes.
Yeah, and whatever. So it was good experience.
Do you know I kept mine from graduation? I didn't give it back.
You have it?
I have it.
I could have asked
You could use mine.
And I was thinking of people who and I asked because I had no idea what to do. I was so helpless.
Yes.
I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and I'll just ask someone there.
If you told me, I would have given it to you.
And I made so many calls. I was like, asking family people, and then they were like, no, they all rented theirs. And I was like, if they rented theirs, probably everybody rents theirs. Those things are expensive to buy.
It is. Yeah. Congratulations. All right, guys. Well, today we're talking about Ganga Amma, who is the mother of the Ganges. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so interact with us if you have wisdom on this, if you have any special beliefs or different beliefs to ours. We actually want you to interact with us. We want to learn from you. You can learn from us, as we want to do the show to educate others.
As well as how you do practice or learned how to practice the Genge prayer. All my life I've heard people in my families and around me saying Genge.
Genge?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it's just, as you said, it's how we pronounce it.
Pronunciation is a matter of opinion, especially if you speak in a certain language or you're from a different country, so you'll have a different pronunciation. But yeah, as long as your message gets across, I think it should be fine.
You know what I'm talking about?
But my granny, shout out to Shilama up in the heavens, she used to say Ganges all the time. So now it's stuck with me.
So sometimes there's the actual word, and it's how people pronounce it. And I think it's the people I've been around and how they pronounce it, and how I've heard it. Because I've also seen people say the Ganges. Then I was just like, okay, but I didn't take it to head. I'm not saying anybody's wrong.
Yes.
But I've just always heard people say Genge or, you know.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are talking about Ganga Amma and we're talking about Mother of the Ganges. But before we kick off the show, let's get your beats, your pumping, your heart pumping, your beats flowing through your body, as everything works with energies in our culture.
And we always like to uplift everyone's energies.
That's it. All right, so let's open up the show with the Sai sisters from the United States of America with Kiran and Nevi. Check them out.
చింతాక్రాంతులైనారు కాంత చింతాక్రాంతులైనారు ఎంత ముద్దో ఎంత ముద్దో ఎంత సొగసో ఎంత ముద్దో ఎంత సొగసో ఎంత ముద్దో ఎంత సొగసో ఎంత ముద్దో ఎంత సొగసో ఎవరి వల్ల ఎవరి వల్ల ఎవరి వల్ల వర్ణింపతగునే ఎంత ముదో ఎంత సొగసో ఎవరి వల్ల వర్ణింపతగునే ఎంత ముదో ఎంత సొగసో ఎవరి వల్ల వర్ణింపతగునే ఎంత ముదో ఎంత సొగసో అత్త మీద కణులాసకు దాసులై అత్త మీద కనులాసకు దాసులై అత్త మీద కనులాసకు దాసులై సత భాగవత వేసులై అత్త మీద కనులాసకు దాసులై సత భాగవత వేసులై దూత పాల రుచి తెలియో సామ్యమే తెలియో సామ్యమే దూత పాల రుచి తెలియో సామ్యమే దూత పాల రుచి తెలియో సామ్యమే దూత పాల రుచి తెలియో సామ్యమే ధురి నూటౌ దూత పాల రుచి తెలియో సామ్యమే భురి నూడౌ త్యాగరాజను తోడు భురి నూడౌ త్యాగరాజను తోడు భురి నూడౌ త్యాగరాజను తోడు ఎంత ముదో ఎంత సొగసో ఎవరి వల్ల వర్ణింపదగునే ఎంత ముద్దో ఎంత సొగసో
And Navy from America, guys. They're known as the Sai sisters, and they're so amazing.
And they sing so beautifully.
Right? And when they started off, they were like this pop singers. I think they found this whole spiritual path.
It's so good to be good in different aspects of music.
Yeah.
And they're so good at this. But a lot of the things these days, people who are doing the modern, they're also now learning the old ancient
Yes.
stuff, and they're combining both together. Like I know you do dance, right?
Yes.
And you try to combine both together.
Yes.
Which is it makes the art more beautiful, like, you know.
It does. It does. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined the show, welcome. And if you are watching for the very first time, I've got to say, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it already. And please share it with your friends and family and support us. You know,
Please do.
support our cause. All right, so today's topic of conversation is Ganga Amma, mother of the Ganges. Okay, and so what can you tell me about, well, the origins or what you know about the mother?
Okay, before I do go further, I somehow pronounce it as Genge.
It's okay.
But I will say both words because some
No, say
people
Genge if you're comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the mother Genge or Ganga, as people would know, she is the personification of the river Ganges, who is the worshipped by Hindus as the goddess of purification and forgiveness. Known by many names, Ganga or Genge is known depicted as a fair, beautiful woman. Genge is often riding a divine crocodile-like creature called Makara. Some of the earliest mentions of Ganga are found in the Rig Veda. And now we did explain that in episodes before, you can go back and watch.
Yeah.
Where she is mentioned as the holiest of the rivers. Her stories mainly appear in the post-Vedic texts such as the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and the Puranas.
Okay.
What more can you tell us about her?
Okay, so honestly speaking, before we did research on this, I didn't know much about Gangama.
Yes.
Right? But okay, according to the Ramayana, right? Well, the Ramayana actually describes her to be, well, the firstborn of the Himavad.
Yes.
Right, and the personification of the Himalayas, and the sister of Mother Goddess Parvati as well.
Yeah.
And however, other texts mention her origin from the preserver deity, which we know as Vishnu.
Yes.
Right? So legends focus on her descent to earth, which occurred because of the royal sage Bhagirath, and it was aided by God Shiva or Lord Shiva. So in the epic Mahabharata, Ganga is the mother of the warrior Bhishma in a union with the Kuru king Shantanu.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things and meanings and stories behind it, but it's a matter of placement of the time.
It does.
Yeah.
So I as well.
Yeah.
So I've also come across something that taught me a bit of this river.
Okay.
Because in India, it's
Yeah.
in this place called there's a place called
But the Ganges River is
Yes.
okay.
where the Shiva took place,
Okay.
actually, where it took its form. And Shiva actually was putting Parvati through a test
Right.
in that river,
Okay.
where she had a chance to save a little boy's life who was goddess Lakshmi.
Okay.
So that's why that this river is so significant. So many events took place,
Yes.
and it's in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So if you read this, you'll definitely come across these kind of stories.
Okay.
So that's why they were actually there in there, as you say, it takes back in time.
Yes.
At that period of time, they were there to test each other. So at that time, Parvati was reborn. She was reincarnated from Sati to Parvati.
Okay.
And she had to win back Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva was going into meditation, and he was putting her through this test, Yeah, and that was one of the tests. It took place in the Ganges River.
Wow. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in Hinduism, right, Ganga is seen as a mother to humanity. And the pilgrims immerse the ashes of their kin in the river Ganga. Now, which is also considered by them to bring the souls, meaning the purified spirits, closer to moksha. So the liberation from the cycle of life and death, festivals like Ganga Dashnee and Ganga Jayanti are celebrated in her honor at several sacred places which lie along the banks of the Ganges, including the Gangotri, the Haridwar, I hope I'm saying this correctly, also the Prayagraj, also the Varanasi, and the Kalikat in Kolkata. Now, alongside a Gautama Buddha, Ganga is worshipped during the Loka Throng festival in Thailand. I'd like to give a warm welcome to Tantra Mantra Samrat on Facebook. And I wish I could actually understand the message that they were sent across.
I wish I could too.
Yeah, well, I hope that we can ask the director, maybe he could press translation. Does it work on our system? No, it doesn't. So, ma'am, if you could please translate it to English, Korean writing for us, we will be able to translate your message over the show called The Journey.
It could be something that we could learn from if
Yes.
we understood what this meant.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
As time goes, I think you are able to translate.
Yes.
Like later on, you
Yes.
have that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's sorry guys, some of the features on our softwares, our cameras, they don't run a certain way like how your normal Facebook runs. You know, you can hit translation and it will
Yes.
translate for you. But thank you so much, Tantra Mantra Samra. Thank you so much for interacting with us in the show. It actually means a lot.
Yeah.
Coming, especially I know you're not from South Africa.
Yeah.
All right, so as we're talking about Ganga Amma, the mother of the Ganges, let's take a quick peek at what Dr. P.K. Maestri from the Meenakshi Sundareswara Koval Temple has to say.
Good evening, the viewers of Active World TV. Today our subject is related to Varanasi, the mother of the Ganges. But before I comment, something in my mind tells me to inform you that the person that sang the song before me, Mr. Rahul, is from India in Hyderabad, served several temples and churches in the area. But of recent, since the time he's got sick, very few people are inviting him or bringing the children for him to teach music. As we said earlier, Kimera has mentioned that he's a versatile musician on the tabla, guitar, the keyboard, and percussion, but mainly on voice training. And he said he's going to charge very cheaply. He will charge 50 Rand per lesson. That's 50 Rand for an hour. So please, if you want to do seva, please contact Rahul through Actionable TV, and they will make the necessary arrangements for him to guide your children to their musical career. Once again, I want to thank Andy and Kimera for giving him an opportunity for coming on board this prestigious TV station of Lanisha. Further, in order for this station to succeed, we want them to succeed. We pray that they must succeed. It's left to you. Not only your viewership, but I urge you, and I urged you previously, please come forward in your numbers. One, to take little adverts from them. Little adverts at a very nominal fee. They need to survive, and we need to encourage them by taking adverts. We are giving the newspaper adverts. We're giving so many people advertisements. Why not our own TV station? I must say prestigious TV station, because first time we have such a station in Lanisha South. Flowing west from the foothills of the Himalayas, the Ganges, known to the Hindus, Buddhists and Muslims as Mother Ganga, winds its way across the gigantic plain to sedately pass the holiest Hindu city on earth, Varanasi. It is the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world, staggering some 5,200 years ago. 5,200 years ago, and that's how old Hinduism is. Varanasi is the most important and sacred place of pilgrimage in India. The city is situated on the banks of the Ganges, which is said to lie at the intersection of the celestial Ganges. Celestial Ganges mean the heavenly Ganges, or the Milky Way, the terrestrial Ganges, and the invisible underground Ganges. Now I've been reading, and they say Lord Shiva is always dancing on the Ganges and especially in Varanasi. Beside all the holy persons and personnels that are worshipping at the Ganges, in particular comes two figures, two legends, two enlightened souls to my mind. One is Tirunavasigar, called Appar, and the other one is Manikam, and they both come from the era of the 63 saints of South India. The ancient city, which was already old when Lord Buddha visited this city 2,500 years ago, was known to the Dravidians and later to the Indo-Islamic cultures as Kashi. And I believe through NDTV that the people of Varanasi are urging the government therein to return the name of Kashi to this great holy city, the mother of the Ganges. The British changed the name to Banaras. Today, most locals still refer to the city as Banaras or Varanasi, though there were moves afoot to return the original name of Kashi. Varanasi is both a city of mysticism and mythology. In the narrow cobbled alleys along the banks of the Ganges, life has changed little since the dawn of the Vedic religion. Here, through the passage of time, the Aryans' domination by the British and a current uncertainty of political direction to this wonderful mother of the Ganges, Varanasi. Fine silk garments have been made in Varanasi since the arrival of the Mughals, those of the kings, and brought the craft of weaving silk with them from their distant kingdoms in China and Mongolia. For visitors interested in acquiring one of the beautiful Indian saris, worn so elegantly by Indian women, you have to bargain for these items in Varanasi. Varanasi is a thoroughly chaotic, friendly, and bewitching city. In the hectic streets, literally thousands of Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Muslims, pilgrims thread their colorful way between the bazaars to the ghats that step down to the edge of the holy river. No one should come away without at least having one consultation with the sadhus who are well versed in the Vedas, and they will explain to you greatly the origination of the Ganges from heaven coming down the slopes of the great Himalaya mountains. The vibration is so great that it had to go on Shiva's matted locks to release the pressure and then to the land. So the whole world is made up of the Ganges water, all from Varanasi. The travelers who have crossed the great routes of the third world will notice a striking similarity in the methods between their various cultures. That is the interpretation of occult leaves, cards, bones, shells, etc. It is in the claustrophobic avenues of Varanasi that one of the great Indian poets, philosophers, and teachers of all time was born. Krishnamurti was to elevate the importance of the city beyond merely a religious center. His love for Varanasi was seen in educating and culturally taking an importance to this mother city. He spent glorious hours exploring the old parts of Varanasi, and you too will become touched by the divine atmosphere that cleanses the soul and pushes everyone along the path to enlightenment. We said recently, to the path of enlightenment, you still need an enlightened guru, an enlightened sage to take you through the steps for your personal enlightenment. The highlight of any visit to Varanasi is a sunrise boat ride on the Ganges River. over 5,000 pilgrims come down to bath in the warm waters of the sacred river each morning. Now, why I mention this is because along the parting Ghats, thousands of people turn to face the rising sun, chanting Surya Namaskaram. Surya Namaskaram is the first thing you should be doing when the sun emerges in the morning, to thank the Lord that without you, we will be nothing. The gurus and yogis perform the most amazing physical feats at the water edge, and we're always willing to show a tourist a few simple examples to purify the chakras and clear your mind, for your mind to become pure. We also said recently that as your soul came down from the 108 seeds, our percentage of purity is only 2%. Where the clutter of houses heals to the end of the city, the Maharaja's palaces are now offer accommodation to who can afford the rates. So can you see what has happened? The good, the bad and the ugly. Here is such a divine river, such a divine mother city. And now the Maharajas have taken advantage to let loose their magnificent palaces for rentals of accommodation so they can make what we say in South Africa, boodle out of the situation. Flower sellers thread garlands of scented jasmine, honeysuckle and arami to be worn by the devotees. Candles surrounded by rose petals are held in the leaves that are lit and floated out onto the rivers, a blessing, a beseeching, a gift to Mother Gandhi. Mother Gandhi, Mother Ganges. On the steps leading down to the water, professional beggars sit with their rags and suffering, emancipated hands outstretched to visitors. For what? Again, for boodle and money. Depreciating the significance, the holiness of Varanasi, the mother of the Ganges. Despite the religious aspect of the Varanasi, the favor of devotion has occasionally resulted in pit street battles between Hindus and Muslims, while the Buddhists look on and quietly shake their heads into contradictions they have seen. You've seen the contradictions between the Maharajas renting out their complexes, the sadhus and the rishis sitting in absolute almost nakedness and tattered garments, begging for money. Now, soldiers guard the areas around the Golden Temple, you heard of the Golden Temple, and the Masjid, was the main Hindu temple in India during the year 1669. The tension is obvious, but does not deter the devoted crowds from flocking to the city, where they come to cleanse themselves and to die. For to die in Varanasi, to be cremated here and set adrift of the Ganges is said to immediately elevate your soul to the realms of God Almighty. For some disturbing reasons, most foreigners visitors want to see the cremation ghats. The piles of wood, blue tinged smoke, and the heavy scent of burning flesh seems to offer some pathological lure to the shallowness of the Western society. This is a holy city place where the bereaved say farewell to their family souls and they journey back, leaving these loved ones burning on the shores of the Ganges, and these foreigners want to make a full show out of it. The funeral pyres burn all day, all night in the celestial city of Varanasi. Most pilgrims to Varanasi stay there for 3 days only. The auspiciousness of this is explained by the significance of the number 3. It indicates the trinity of Hindu mythology and of Christianity for that matter, Brahma, Vishnu Maheshwara. Even the Tamils, noticeable by their dark clothing, colors of blue, maroon and green, visit the Ganges. Varanasi is the city of wishes and dreams. At the holy tree and the well of wisdom, these two pictures of the well and the tree are in Varanasi. People tie threads of cloth and throw money in the fervent hope that their wishes, desires, and longings will be fulfilled. At the well of wisdom, which is next to the image of the Nandi, which is the vehicle of Lord Shiva, there is a statue of Lord Shiva. When the Aryans attacked Varanasi, the curator of the original Hindu temple, when I was still in India and was returning to South Africa, because of the controversy between the Hindus and the Muslims, and Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of the then India, took the part of the Muslims. Very shortly, she was gunned down outside her own residence on sunny morning. Entrance to the Golden Temple is forbidden to non-Hindus. Do you see why? And most temples, they say non-Hindus not allowed beyond this point. Because on those days, not today, in those days, the Muslims were promoting Islam at any extent, and they went to demolish the idol structures in our temples. So the entrance to the Golden Temple is forbidden to non-Hindus, but you are able to view the magnificent dome by climbing the stairs of Babulal's shop, famous shop, where the non-Muslims can go and have a look at the dome of the Golden Temple. It is 850 kilograms of pure gold leaf that covers the dome of this temple. You can window your soul through Babulal's shop, overseeing the dome of 850 kilograms of gold. It's the window of your soul. It matters little to which religion you belong. The message is clear to all. We are all subject to a precious human body, impermanence, karma, and suffering. The largest university in Asia is located in Varanasi, the Hindu University of Banaras, built by Queen Victoria. This Sanskrit university includes an enormous medicinal herb garden for the cultivation of plants used in Ayurvedic medicine, which has finally begun to gain great acknowledgement by the Western physicists. It's appropriate to end by me saying, Om Bhur-Bhuvah-Swaha Tat-Savitur-Varenyam Bhargo Devas Yedimahi Yo Na Prashodaya Om Bhur-Bhuvah-Swaha Tat-Savitur-Varenyam Bhargo Devas Yedimahi Yo Na Prashodaya. Come on, all of us, join me, or all of you join me. Om Bhur-Bhuvah Swaha Tat-Savitur-Varenyam Bhargo Devas Yedimahi Yo Na Prashodaya. Namaste to one and all. Thank you.
A very big thank you to Dr. P.K. Maestri from the Meenakshi Sundeshwara Koval Temple, also known as the MSK Temple in the nation's south on Starling Street if you're looking for it. if we manage to help you get onto your spiritual path, come to the MSK Temple. It's quite nice. Alright, so thank you Dr. Maestri for all of, your wisdom on Gangama. It was quite helpful.
It was.
It was. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join us during the show, you can comment at the bottom of the screen. But hey, take some time. We'll come back straight after this commercial break.
You can do anything. All you need is determination. and a fresh pair of these nallies. But what's the point of looking like Injay game if all your money's on your feet and your dreams go up in flames? In this world of doing it for Ikram, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Manikam,
Namaste.
Namaskaram,
Sai Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Swami Esaranammayappa. Good afternoon to everybody who just joined us. You are a little late as we start streaming at 5, but it's okay because we're live. You can scroll back on the bar, alright, and watch it again. Or you can just click on the link later and catch the show later and comment later. It's fine. You can always use the bottom of the screen and just comment there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it already, as it uplifts our channel and our non-profit. Yeah. Alright, so we're talking about Gangama, right? And we just finished off with Dr. P.K. Maestri and a bit of his wisdom and knowledge on Ama, on Gangama rather. Alright, so before we get to it, we want to keep your blood pumping, your energies alive and up and positive. Let's introduce, well, Uncle Raul. Today he's praising Sai Baba. Let's check it out.
Patita Pavana Shri Gana Shama Sai Gopala Shri Gana Shama Prema Bharuma Sai Bharuma Prema Bharuma Satya Sai Bharuma Bolo Jai Ram, Bolo Jai Ram, Bolo Jai Ram, Sai Baba. Bolo Jai Ram, Bolo Jai Ram, Bolo Jai Ram, Sai Baba. Patita Pavana Shri Ganashama Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama Patita Pavana Shri Ganashama Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama Prema Bharuma Sai Bharuma Prema Bharuma Satya Sai Bharuma Sai Ram Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Paramananda Shri Ganashama, Paramananda Shri Ganashama, Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama, Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama. Prema Bharuma, Sai Bharuma, Prema Bharuma, Satya Sai Bharuma, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Golo Jai Ram, Golo Jai Ram, Golo Jai Ram, Sai Baba. Golo Jai Ram, Golo Jai Ram, Golo Jai Ram, Sai Baba. Paramananda Shri Ganashama, Paramananda Shri Ganashama, Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama, Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama. Prema Bharuma, Sai Bharuma, Prema Bharuma, Satya Sai Bharuma, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Paramananda Shri Ganashama, Paramananda Shri Ganashama, Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama, Sai Gopala Shri Ganashama. Prema Bharuma, Sai Bharuma, ప్రేమ బరువా సత్య సాయి బరువా సాయి రామ్ సాయి రామ్ సాయి రామ్ సాయి రామ్ సాయి
Uncle Rahul from the MSK Temple, Indonesia South. Shout out to you. He was praising Sai Baba, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, what an awesome delivery. I love his guitar playing. He also teaches music, by the way, for those of you that don't know. And if you want, he teaches, I think it's 50 Rand per hour, whether he's teaching guitar or does he teach every instrument?
As far as I know, the mandarin, the tabla,
Yeah.
the guitar. So Eastern and
Yeah.
Western music.
So if you want to contact Uncle Rahul and you want to learn how to play music or instrument rather, please do contact us on our WhatsApp line 074-660-5829. If you missed the number, it's at the bottom right of your screen throughout the entire show. Alright, so we're talking about Gangama right now. I've taken the information from you, the origins as well.
Yeah.
I've taken information from Dr. P.K. Maestri. Now, can I just mention a little something about Vedic scriptures, right?
Please do.
Okay. So, like Gangama is mentioned in the Rig Veda for those of you who didn't know, and the earliest, theoretically, the holiest of the Hindu scriptures. If you all didn't know that. Now, Ganga is mentioned also in the Nadastuti, also known as the Rig Veda. We'll call it the Rig Veda. It's easier, right? Now, this also lists the river from east to west. There's also a few stories about this river. Too many, actually. Yes. So if you look at it, the word Ganga is also mentioned in the Rig Veda, and but it is not clear if the reference is to the river or if it's to the Amma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to be very, very careful when you're reading the Rig Veda, if you have one, or if you have gotten a chance to read it. You might make a mistake when they're either referring to Ganga, Amma, or the actual river.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's so many stories, then you would then know why it's significant or whatever.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at, the Rig Veda, right? Now, since this is not clear, you're just going to have to, whenever I read something and I want to absorb knowledge, I read it twice over. I don't know what you do.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
To really absorb it.
Yes. So, if you look at it, the Rig Veda, it actually says that, your ancient home, your auspicious friendship, O heroes, your wealth is on the banks of the Jahanvi. Okay, and it says this verse would refer to Ganga herself. So don't make a mistake when they're talking about Jahanvi and Ganga, the river, and Ganga Amma. So please don't ever mix that up when you're reading Vedic scriptures.
That's true.
So let's talk about Amma. I mean, like the birth of Amma. Let me hear what you have to say.
So this can just be like a fact.
Okay.
Because we always want to know their birth and or who they came from,
Right.
or where they came from.
Okay.
So the birth of Genge, as I say, or Ganga. As per Hindu mythology, Ganga is the daughter of Brahma, born from the Kamandala. It's a spout-shaped vessel. When he was washing the feet of Vamana, the dwarf Brahman incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So that was
Okay.
how she was born.
All right, so let's look at Ganga Amma as like an icon,
Yes.
right? So if Ganga is described in this is what I was taught, right? Now Ganga is described as the melodious, the fortunate, the cow that gives much milk, the eternally pure, the delightful, the body that is full of fish, affords delight to the eye and leaps over mountains in sport, the bedding that bestows water and happiness, and the friend or the benefactor of all that lives. That's how I see the Gangama, the icon,
yes.
right? So since the Vedic period, the Ganga river has been considered the holiest of all rivers by Hindus. And Ganga is also personified as a goddess, and it's worshipped as goddess Ganga, which we've mentioned. So she holds an important place in the Hindu pantheon, and Ganga is represented as a fair complexioned woman, right?
As we mentioned.
Yes, and she's wearing a white crown and sitting on a crocodile, and she holds a water lily in her right hand and a flute in her left. When she's shown with 4 hands, she carries a water pot, a lily, a rosary, and has 1 hand in the protective mode. So the Rig Veda actually mentions that Ganga, but more of her is said in the Puranas.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about Puranas.
Yes.
So another fact I would say, according to the Vishnu Purana,
Yes.
Ganga was created from the sweat of Lord Vishnu's feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So, and then there's a lot of stories going further onto more of that, but most of it is that when they became descents on earth,
Yes.
a lot of the stories are from there, and even you see the Ganga represented in Shiva's form on his dreadlocks on his hair. There's stories that when she had to be descended to earth, so he had to release her
Yes.
from his dreadlocks. So there's a lot of stories of why the river is so significant.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we mentioned that Ganga is depicted 4-armed and mounted on a crocodile or enthroned, surrounded by crocodiles,
Yeah.
right? So, in one of the, the iconography is that Mahavarat Rupa, she holds a jar of Amrita. So, it's a jar of Amrita. We mentioned the rosary, the lotus, and the Varada Mudra. Now, she may be depicted in other ways holding only the Kalasha. Or the Kalasha is the 2 replacing lotuses, right? So in Sanskrit it will be Kalasha,
Yes.
right? So while the other 2 hands in the Varada and the Abhaya Mudra, so we rather just say the lotuses and all of that, right, in English, because we are English speaking and we're teaching this to you in English. Now there's another depiction, ladies and gentlemen, which is popular, especially in the Bengals, actually shows her holding Shankha and chakra discs. You know the chakra
Yes,
discs?
yes, yes.
And they also have the lotus and the Abhaya Mudra with the Kalasha releasing holy water. So there's so many different ways of actually picturing her or making her some type of icon.
Yes.
You know? So if you look at in Brahma, the Vaivarta Purana, Ganga is often depicted with her divine mount, the Makara, an animal with the head of a crocodile and a tail of a dolphin. So if you're ever wondering what she looks like, there you have a bit of an explanation.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to share with the viewers?
Okay, so, something I think we'd wonder why Ganga is in Shiva's dreadlocks.
Right. That is one of the stories I would like to know, yeah?
So, because her power is so strong and no one could bear it, he locked her in his hair, so that she always wondered that no one is able to control how powerful she is.
Mm-hmm.
And even to descend to earth, she had to do severe penance,
Okay.
being in that form,
Okay.
to be let to come to earth. Because there's even a story of why that earth needed they needed the river, they needed
Okay.
that. And she too had to do severe penance in order to control her own power. Shiva had taught her lessons in order to control her own powers. So when she's come to earth, there's nothing that she can destroy. Because remember, when you have a lot of power and you come to earth, sometimes even the goddesses and gods, they couldn't control what they could do.
Okay.
And they had to do severe penance themselves
Yes.
to be able to control themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that also in this world, when it comes to us, there's certain people, I would say, even for all of us, there's certain things we do to be able to control ourselves.
Right.
There's severe penance, we can call it that.
Yes.
We can control there's a lot of people who are gifted and spiritual and special, and they also have to do certain things to control themselves.
Right.
To grow their power, but able to contain it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one.
Okay, so before I jump deeper or go in depth about the birth of, we are talking about Gangama, the mother of the Ganges. But before we do that, let's take a quick break. We'll come back straight after this.
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized. Trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Manikam.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Sairam.
Jai Shri Ram.
Swami Esannamayappa. Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, a very good afternoon to you. But since it's winter, I think it's evening already. You can't see outside the
because
studio.
the days are shorter and the nights are
Langa. All right, so welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, we are talking about Ganga Amma, the mother of the Ganges. And for those of you who don't know us, I'm Kimera. This is Dashnee.
Manikam, everyone.
All right, for all you English-speaking folk, ask it. All right, so we're talking about Ganga Amma now.
Yes.
Do you want to go more in depth about the birth, or
Yeah, I can.
You can. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the birth of Ganga Amma. Okay, so
Right.
the Ramayana and several other texts narrate that Brahma created Himavat. He later became the king of the Himalayas and married Minavati, the daughter of Meru. After several of years, a daughter was born and they named her Ganga. Now you know how the name came about. After some years, another daughter named Parvati was born, who was incarnation of Sati. Now if you know, Sati was one of Shiva's, one of his wife. Okay, she wasn't his wife, but they fell in love, and she was reborn into earth. So he waited for her to be incarnated as Parvati.
Okay.
Yeah. When Ganga grew up, the Devas took her to Sarva and took a form of a river and flowed there. The Bhagavata Purana depicts another origin of Ganga. According to the next is Vishnu. In his incarnation as Vamana, extended his feet to the end of the universe and pierced a hole in the covering with a nail of his big toe. Through the hole, the pure water of the casual ocean entered the universe as the Ganga River or Ganges River.
Say it.
Having washed the lotus feet of the Lord, which are covered with reddish saffron, the water of the Ganga acquired a very beautiful pink color. Because of the Ganges directly touched the lotus feet of Vishnu Narayana before descending within the universe, it is known as Bhagavat Padi or Vishnu Padi, which means emanating from the feet of Bhagavan, God. Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
It finally settles in the Brahmaloka or Brahmapura. I've heard this word so many times. I've watched so many things. So it's places that, so say Brahmaloka is places where certain gods resided.
Okay.
So Lord Vishnu and Goddess Lakshmi, they were under the water.
Okay.
So that was their loka.
Okay.
So I forgot the name of it. And then there's Brahma Loka is where Brahma, he resided. And
Okay.
then there's Vishnu, the Himalayas.
awesome.
So that's what the Brahma Loka kind of meant. It's the abode.
Okay.
Abode of Brahma.
Nice.
So all of these deities had their own abodes. Before descending to the planet Earth at the request of Bhagirata and held safely by Shiva on his head to prevent the destruction of Bhumi Devi, which is goddess Earth, as everyone knows, then Ganga was raised from Shiva's head to meet the needs of the country. So at this time, this is what's happening in their abodes.
Okay.
And they knew that Earth needed
Okay.
this Ganga River.
Yeah.
And so that's when she was released.
So that was like an in-depth explanation. As we're not sticking to the 1 hour show anymore, we're trying to teach you as much as we can.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a much more simpler but detailed explanation.
Yes, there we go. But thanks. Thank you so much, Dashnee.
You can go.
Okay, so let's talk about the transformation. You know, the transformation into a river.
Yeah, so from the abodes of the gods, Lord
Yes.
Shiva's head, he then was going to let her be released into the earth. So now Kimera will explain her transformation to the river.
Okay, so a legend of the Bhagavad Gita Purana, the Devi Bhagavata they call it, the Devi Bhagavata Purana rather, and this describes Ganga as originally being one of the 3 wives of Vishnu.
Interesting.
That is quite interesting. Not a lot of us know that.
Yeah.
Now this is along with Lakshmi and Saraswati. Did you know these things?
I know that.
You knew it?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the midst of a conversation, right? Saraswati observed that Ganga playfully kept glancing at Vishnu. Frustrated, Saraswati launched a furious tirade against Ganga, accusing her of stealing Vishnu's love away from her. So when Ganga appealed to her husband to help her, he opted to remain neutral, not wishing to participate in a quarrel between his 3 wives, whom he loved equally, might I add. Okay, so when Lakshmi attempted to soothe Saraswati's anger by reasoning with her, the jealous goddess actually grew angry with her as well, accusing her of disloyalty towards her.
Okay.
So she actually cursed Lakshmi to be born as the Tulasi. Okay, the Tulasi plant upon the earth.
So, can I correct you with that one?
Yes, you can.
So we call it the Tulsi.
Oh, the
tree.
Tulsi tree?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I mispronounced it because I didn't even know how it was spelled when I was researching.
Yeah.
Do you know I used to call the Tulsi tree money tree?
A lot of people do. Again, it's
I
like
have it.
Lakshmi, it's a luck.
Yes.
People pray
Yeah.
to the tree, offer water to it in their
Yeah.
homes, keep it in a sacred
Yeah.
area. Especially in India, it's in the middle of the homes.
Yes.
So it's to bring luck and prosperity.
Thanks for correcting me. Okay, so if you look at it, Ganga now enraged that Lakshmi had been cursed because she had defended her, cursed Saraswati that she would be incarnated as a river on earth. So this is how it happened.
Yeah.
Right? So Saraswati issued the same curse against Ganga, informing her that sinful men would cleanse themselves of their sins with her water. Now, to prevent further conflict among the goddesses, Vishnu declares Lakshmi as his only wife and sends Saraswati to Brahma
Yes.
and Ganga to Shiva. What a beautiful story.
That I'm very aware of. That Saraswati was in Brahmalok with
Yes.
Brahma, and goddess Lakshmi was with Narayana, Vishnu.
Yes.
And I can't get the name, and it's so common. I hear it all the time. It's something we talk about all the time. Of what was Vishnu's abode called
Yes.
under the ocean, because he used to. They was the snake bed. That's where they sat. So it's a very beautiful story.
It is. I think it's awesome. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as we always promise you good entertainment, live energy coming through your TV screen or your phone screen or your tablet, whatever you're watching the show on. Tonight we have for you a baby Nishana Naika who's only 9 years old.
That is so beautiful watching the youth
Yes.
take up this kind of
Activities.
it is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Okay, so tonight she's performing for you Irakam, Adi, say it for me, Adatil, Venkateshwara. Check it out.
వెంకటరమణ గోవింద శ్రీ వెంకటేశ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద శ్రీ వెంకటేశ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద శ్రీ వెంకటేశ గోవింద వెంకటరమణ గోవింద శ్రీ వెంకటేశ గోవింద
years old from Durban, singing for us. Irikam Idatul Vegateshwara. What a beautiful track.
Beautiful.
And I got the pronunciation right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we've overrun our show, we have to love and leave you, yeah? But we'll come back on Monday. Okay, and we'll talk about the descent upon the earth. I think we have to finish this on Monday. We wanted to talk about Nadaraja on Monday because it's his day. But we need to finish the show. But we're gonna have to speak about the rest of it on another time. We'll call it part 2 of the Ganga Amma Mothers of the Ganges, and yeah, it'll be fun.
It would.
Because we did run over time, and we apologize for that. Some of you have to be with your families. Some of you have to talk about, well, some people have to go pray. Isn't it time to light the lamp? We'll be late on that also. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we always come towards the end of the show, and we teach you the 108 principles of the value system from the Tirukural, and today's lesson is
Practice fairness in economics.
that's it. So are you fair in everything that you do?
I am, but
Okay.
there's some things in life where you can work with fairness, but some things you need to have a balance.
Yeah.
So in terms of being fair, what do you need to be fair with? How? What
Yeah.
benefits you best? Because in the end of the day, when you in the world, everyone is looking out for themselves, and they too, they are watching out for themselves. I'm not saying be bad, but be fair also for yourself.
Like I'm not fair when it comes to chocolate. And I need the director to be a little bit patient as I'm still speaking. When it comes to chocolate, right? I buy you your own. I won't share mine. Isn't that fair though? Isn't it okay? Because I'm still giving
It's
you.
perfectly fine, but you know what's so funny? I'm not a big chocolate person.
Is it? Why?
I don't know.
You don't like
Like I'll have it once in a while, but not as. There's people who love chocolate.
Yes.
Like if they actually would eat a whole slab, I'll have like 2 pieces and that's it. I don't know.
That's me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody's looking for a guru to help them with the following services, please call Guru Indresan. He's from the MSK temple as well. He performs the following services, which is known as the Jandagam, also the astrological readings, known also as the Panchagam. He also does the Navagara Shanti, the house prayers, if you need a business prayer, car prayers, temple and hall, weddings, and the ceremonies like your 16 days and your 1 year. Don't forget the Janda prayer, the auspicious Hawans, and Kumbha Abhishekam. You can contact Guru Indresan on 081-325-0115. I'll give it to you again, 081-325-0115. All right, so any shout outs to anybody since you came back? We missed you and everything.
Just give a shout out to everybody that's watching and support us. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's really appreciated.
Don't forget, guys, remember when I tell you that because we want you to support the channel, yes, and why we're doing this is to uplift our culture, our community. So this is a non-profit. So if you have a business, a small business even, if you want to advertise on this platform, drop us a WhatsApp on 074-660-5829. There's the WhatsApp line right there at the bottom right of your screen. Contact us. Your funds will help us to uplift our community, uplift our temples, uplift anything that we're doing for the youth, because this is our seva, our God's work. Yeah.
As well as if you do want to take part in it, do it with.
Yes.
Contribute as well as doing what, as you can uplift each other.
Yes.
In terms of our culture.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can come and join us in studio if you want to be a presenter, if you want to learn about lighting, if you want to learn how TV works or streaming. Come and join us.
do.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for this evening.
Manikam.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Sai Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Somayeswaranam Ayappa. Good night, everyone.